Michelle Troconis is back in court today, this time for the contempt charge she received during her criminal trial in the disappearance and death of her boyfriend's estranged wife, Jennifer Dulos.
Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Olivia Schuler is live from Stamford this morning. So give us some of the details on what led Troconis to be back in court today.
Caitlin, officials say that Troconis is accused of showing sealed Dulos family psych documents on her laptop during her trial. Now, Jennifer Dulos' friends saw those documents and reported it to the court inspector. They handed that information over to the attorneys and the judge. The psych report was sealed by a judge weeks before Jennifer Dulos disappeared in 2019. Now, in February of this year, Troconis was convicted on charges connected to the disappearance of Jennifer Dulos. Those guilty charges range from conspiracy to commit murder, tampering with evidence, and hindering prosecution counts. Troconis was sentenced to 14.5 years in prison. Now, if Troconis is found guilty of that contempt charge, then she will not be given credit towards her current sentence that she is facing. Now, we are going to have a team in the courtroom all day, and we will also have continuing coverage starting at Great Day at 9 a.m. Live this morning in Stamford, Olivia Schuler, Channel 3.